Embracing the echoes of self-doubt, unveiling spiritual insights for inner transformation. In our collective pursuit of spiritual growth and understanding, we often encounter the whispering shadows of self-doubt. These are not mere hindrances. They are profound messengers cloaked in discomfort, bearing insights that can lead us to a deeper sense of purpose and self-awareness. Today, I invite you to join me as we explore the spiritual significance of self-doubt and unravel the wisdom it holds for our personal evolution. Self-doubt is a universal experience, an inner dialogue that questions our abilities, worth, and decisions. But have we ever considered the possibility that self-doubt is not the enemy, but a teacher? It arises not to paralyze us, but to prompt a moment of pause, a reflection where we can observe ourselves and our path with greater clarity. Imagine for a moment that every time you experience self-doubt, you're actually standing at a crossroads. One direction leads to familiar territory, where the outcomes are known and safety is guaranteed. The other direction leads into the unknown, where the potential for growth is immense, but so is the risk of failure. In this space of indecision, self-doubt is the signpost, asking which way will lead to true fulfillment. In the silence of our inner world, self-doubt speaks to us of our deepest fears. It reflects our insecurities about not being enough or not having enough. But it also shines a light on our values and our deepest desires. When we listen to it carefully, we can discern the voice of our authentic self, guiding us towards what we truly want rather than what we've been conditioned to pursue. Self-doubt also calls us to question the stories we tell ourselves. We have been narrators of our own lives, often unconsciously scripting tales that limit our potential. These stories are woven from past experiences, societal expectations, and the judgments of others. They are not the absolute truth, yet we cling to them, letting them dictate our actions and self-worth. But what if we could rewrite our narrative? What if we could transform our self-doubt into self-discovery? Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. It might seem counterintuitive, but embracing self-doubt can be a powerful spiritual practice. It's a practice of humility, acknowledging that we do not have all the answers, and that's perfectly okay. It's a practice of courage, daring to question our own beliefs and the reality we've constructed. And it's a practice of compassion, offering ourselves the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a dear friend. Now, let us consider the role of meditation in our relationship with self-doubt. Meditation provides a haven, a tranquil space where we can observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. As we meditate, we may notice self-doubt arising, its voice trying to disrupt our peace. But in this sacred space, we are not swayed. We sit with it, we acknowledge its presence, and we let it pass like clouds in the sky. Through meditation, we cultivate a sense of detachment, learning not to identify with the fleeting doubts, but to rest in the awareness that observes them. In the light of meditation, self-doubt loses its grip on us. We come to see that it is not the self-doubt itself that causes us suffering, but our reaction to it. Do we resist it, fight it, and let it define us? Or do we accept it as a natural part of our human experience, something that can serve as a stepping stone to greater self-knowledge and wisdom? In the grand tapestry of life, every thread has its purpose, every color its meaning. Self-doubt is one such thread, a shade that can add depth and contrast to our spiritual journey. It reminds us that growth is not a straight line but a spiral. We may revisit the same doubts and fears at different stages of our lives, each time with a new perspective and a deeper level of understanding. To integrate self-doubt into our spiritual practice, we must be willing to hold space for it. This means creating an environment within ourselves where self-doubt can be expressed and heard without judgment. It means being curious about what it has to teach us rather than dismissing it outright. It is in this space that transformation occurs, where the seeds of self-doubt can bloom into the flowers of self-assurance and inner strength. But how do we create such a space? We start by grounding ourselves in the present moment. When self-doubt arises, we anchor ourselves with our breath, with the sensations in our body, with the sounds around us. We remind ourselves that while self-doubt may be present, it is not the totality of our experience. There is a vastness to our being that self-doubt cannot touch, a still point within that remains unaffected by the fluctuations of the mind. In this grounding, we find resilience. We learn to coexist with self-doubt without letting it overwhelm us. Instead of being a storm that uproots our trees of self-confidence, it becomes the wind that tests their strength and flexibility. We become like the bamboo, bending but not breaking under the pressure of our inner critic. Now, let's turn our attention to the role of self-doubt in decision-making. It is often in these moments of choice that self-doubt speaks loudest, questioning our judgment and clouding our intuition. But what if we could see these moments as opportunities to engage with our inner wisdom? Each decision we face is a chance to align with our truest intentions and to act from a place of conscious awareness. When faced with a decision, we might feel the pull of self-doubt tugging at our certainty. But rather than shutting down or becoming paralyzed, we can use this as a signal to pause and reconnect with our deeper knowing. We can ask, what is this doubt revealing to me? What unexamined fears or beliefs are coming to the surface? By inquiring into the nature of our doubt, we bring light to the shadows and clarity to the confusion. Self-doubt also serves as a check against ego-driven decisions. It humbles us, reminding us that we are not infallible and that our perspective is just one among many. In this humility, there is wisdom. We become open to learning, to considering other points of view, and to acknowledging the interconnectedness of all things. Our decisions then are not just for our own benefit, but take into account the well-being of others and the greater good. In our spiritual journey, we often seek experiences of transcendence and moments of clear, unwavering certainty. Yet, it is through the oscillation between doubt and faith that our spiritual muscles are strengthened. Like the rhythm of the tides, our doubts ebb and flow, and in their motion, we are carried to new depths of understanding. Consider the role of faith amidst self-doubt. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the decision to trust despite it. It is a choice to believe in our own potential, in the guidance of the universe, and in the unfolding of our path, even when we cannot see where it leads. Faith gives us the courage to move forward, to make choices, and to act in alignment with our highest self, even when the whisper of self-doubt remains. Let's also explore the role of self-doubt in the context of our relationships. It is often through our interactions with others that our self-doubt becomes most pronounced. We fear judgment, rejection, and not measuring up to the expectations of those around us. Yet, these fears can serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves that are yearning for acceptance and love. In relationships, self-doubt can be a catalyst for authentic connection. When we express our vulnerabilities, when we share our uncertainties, we invite others to do the same. This creates a space for genuine intimacy, where masks are dropped and hearts are opened. It is in this sharing that we realize we are not alone in our doubts, and we find comfort in the shared human experience. What's more, self-doubt can inspire us to become better listeners, more empathetic friends, and more compassionate partners. It teaches us to step outside of ourselves and to see things from another's perspective. In doing so, we build stronger, more resilient bonds with those around us, and we contribute to a culture of understanding and acceptance. As we move through life, we will undoubtedly encounter self-doubt, time and time again. It is an integral part of our growth and evolution. The key is not to eradicate self-doubt, but to engage with it constructively. To do so, we must maintain a sense of curiosity about our inner world, a willingness to face our fears, and the courage to transform doubt into a force for positive change. In closing this part of our exploration, I invite you to consider the following. What if our self-doubt is not a barrier but a gateway? What if, within its tangled web, lies the key to our liberation and the full expression of our being? As we sit with this possibility, we open ourselves to the transformative power of self-doubt, and we step into a more conscious and intentional way of living. The journey through self-doubt is a path toward self-mastery. It is a dance with our shadows that teaches us the steps to grace, resilience, and unwavering self-belief. As we continue this exploration, remember that each moment of uncertainty is a step toward greater self-realization and spiritual awakening. The labyrinth of self-reflection, navigating the inner pathways of doubt to discover true purpose. In the second part of our exploration, we delve deeper into the intricate corridors of our inner landscape, where self-doubt intertwines with our search for meaning and purpose. Here, in the labyrinth of self-reflection, we uncover the profound truths that self-doubt can reveal about our life's direction and the essence of our being. Self-doubt often arises when we stand at the precipice of change or when we are called to step into a larger version of ourselves. It is as if we have outgrown the old shell and are now facing the vulnerability of existing without it, even if just for a moment, before we find or create a new one. This phase of transition is fertile ground for self-doubt, as it brings to the surface all that is uncertain and unknown within us. Consider the metaphor of the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. There is a stage in this process, within the chrysalis, where the old form must completely dissolve before the new form can emerge. It is a natural process, yet if the caterpillar resisted this dissolution due to self-doubt, it would never realize its potential to fly. Similarly, we too must be willing to let go of who we have been to become who we are meant to be. Our society often values certainty and quick decision-making, but the wisdom of self-doubt teaches us the importance of patience and timing. There is a rhythm to our personal evolution, and self-doubt can be the pause between the notes, the space that allows the music of our lives to breathe and take shape. It is in these pauses that we are invited to listen deeply to the stirrings of our soul and to discern the direction that resonates with our truest self. Self-doubt also presents us with the opportunity to reassess our values and priorities. What are we truly committed to? What is non-negotiable in our lives? Without the questioning that self-doubt encourages, we may continue on a path that is misaligned with our core essence. It is only when we dare to question, to doubt, that we open ourselves to the possibility of a life lived in greater alignment with our heartfelt intentions. In the realm of self-discovery, self-doubt can be a powerful ally. It urges us to look beyond the superficial layers of our identity and to explore the depths of who we are. It is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a companion on the journey, challenging us to peel back the layers of conditioning and societal expectations to reveal the unique brilliance of our individuality. The relationship between self-doubt and our sense of purpose is intricate and revealing. When we feel lost or uncertain about our path, self-doubt can amplify these feelings. Yet, it is precisely in the midst of this uncertainty that we are given the chance to reflect on what gives our life meaning. Each question, each doubt, is a stepping stone toward a clearer understanding of our purpose. As we navigate through the doubts, we must also cultivate trust in ourselves, in the journey, and in the unfolding of our destiny. This trust does not negate the presence of doubt. Rather, it is a quiet knowing that beneath the surface turmoil, there is a steady current guiding us forward. Trust allows us to move through the labyrinth of self-doubt with grace, knowing that each turn, each dead end, brings us closer to the heart of our true path. In the process of self-inquiry, we must be willing to encounter the unknown within us. We may discover aspects of ourselves that we have neglected or denied, talents that have lain dormant, or passions that we have suppressed. Self-doubt asks us to be brave, to meet these revelations with openness and curiosity, and to integrate them into the narrative of our evolving self. Let us also address the role of self-compassion on this journey. Self-doubt can be harsh and critical, a voice within that points out our flaws and shortcomings. However, when we respond to this voice with compassion, we transform the conversation. We can acknowledge our imperfections while also recognizing our inherent worth and the progress we have made. Self-compassion softens the edges of self-doubt and allows us to move through it with greater ease and kindness. In the midst of self-doubt, it's helpful to remember that we are not alone. Every person grapples with these questions, and in this shared struggle, there is a sense of solidarity. We can draw strength from the knowledge that self-doubt is a part of the human experience, a common thread that connects us all in our quest for meaning and fulfillment. It is also essential to distinguish between self-doubt and intuition. While self-doubt often stems from fear and insecurity, intuition is a deeper, more subtle sense of knowing. Learning to tell the difference between these two voices can be transformative. Intuition may also present questions and uncertainties, but it does so with a sense of calm and clarity, guiding us toward our truth rather than away from it. The challenge lies in quieting the mind enough to distinguish the whispers of intuition from the clamor of self-doubt.